YouTube, it's September 9th, 2019. There's a Kyle Scanlon memorial at the 519 tonight at 6, which is in about half an hour. Sorry I didn't make this earlier. But yeah, here we are. I'm doing my Tshot. It's a deltestrol. I do 0.5 cc's per week. And remember to pick up your safe needle box. It has a snap lid. You can put your tips into here. There's a tiny little hole like this in the top that you can safely dispose of your tips and return this to your doctor. It's a nice little compact package. You can pick these up at Sherborne Health Center for free, and you can also get injection, intramuscular injection kits, which gives you the uptake syringes and the tips, alcohol swabs, and band-aids. So that's a nice thing to have. And here's my dog. He's saying hi. What you doing? Talking a lot. He's excited. So yeah, we're here to do our Tshot, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about ContraPoints and the situation she's in, and maybe about medications and YouTube. So, just petting my dog, so I'm going to alcohol swab everything, and I'm going to do the injection into my leg. So the uptake syringe comes like this. It's a 3 ml syringe. You only use 0.5 cc, so half of one of the points. Markers, there's 3. Let me just find my equipment here. Oh, dropping everything. Alright, here's a band-aid, and there's my uptake tip, which is a 18 gauge by 1 and 1.5 inch. The package looks like this. When you get your testosterone, mine's from Shoppers. Yeah, you just saw all my info probably there if you want to scan it. But it's called deltestrol. It's made by Valiant, which is a Canadian company. So if you're in Canada, it'll be Valiant. If not, it's an American company. I believe it's Pfizer makes the other one, which is depot testosterone. One is suspended in cottonseed oil. The other is suspended in soy oil for the uptake, because it's very concentrated. And I'm just going to warm it up between my hands by rolling the bottle back and forth between my hands to warm it up. And that just helps with it going into the muscle structure and being absorbed, and it's not so uncomfortable. It actually just feels like you put if you don't warm it up, it feels like you have an ice cube on your muscle, and that's it. Also got a nice, it's my studio. It's my watch my studio. So you can fit a couple of couches. It has like 14-foot ceilings. Pretty nice, but it is loud, and it is in the downtown core of Toronto. I don't know if you saw my Twitter. I got Twitter at Nick_Torok. It's Nick_Torok. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook and whatnot. I don't add a lot of people, so sorry if you're requesting to add me, but if I don't know you personally and like your Facebook looks a little sparse, I'm gonna wonder who it is. And I have some anxiety issues, so I've been like harassed and stalked and beaten up and ostracized, and you can name it. In the past, so I'm a little hesitant about adding folks I haven't met in person yet, so yeah. Apologies about that, it might take me some time. Or just make a short note that you saw me on YouTube and you want to add me on your Facebook, and then it'll be quicker to add you in. So there's my uptake syringe. It's 22 gauge by 1 and 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to set that down and get my alcohol swab and take my long jeans off here. I have shorts on. So yeah, when you do your injection into the leg, you want to go higher than this, where your muscle ends here. So this is a fascia band. You don't want to inject into that. You want to go a little bit higher, but still on the outside because there's more nerve endings that come across from the center of your leg towards the outside. And then you want to go from the center in this quarter here somewhere. And usually people go the upper half of the thigh here. I tend to do it somewhere around here. Sometimes I go this high, but not into the indent. You see where my leg joins here? This is pretty bony. And I haven't done it myself though, but I've heard of people like putting the syringe in and it actually hits the bone. You don't want to do that because I hear it's painful, it might be uncomfortable. You won't damage your bone or anything. It's just, having a metal thing go to your bone is here, your hips right here, pretty hard. That's not very good. So you want to do it actually in the muscle. And having it in the muscle helps it go into the bloodstream, because that's why they call it an intramuscular injection. And yeah, so we'll do that now. I don't know why I feel a little nervous, but put my leg on something. Try to take the tension off. I've been having a lot of leg pain. Sciatica. I'm having it on my right side now. I think it was because I was longboarding and I tried to whip out into a slide. But you want to pull back a little bit, just see if you're in a vein. If you are, just pull it out. Try again. It's happened to me that I got it in a vein, like the tip of the needle into a vein twice. And I've been taking testosterone for 7 years. And you take it once a week, 52 times a year. So the odds of hitting a vein are pretty rare. I think I just actually went through a vein and out the other side because it started bleeding right away when I pulled it out. And what you saw, like, I just immediately put my hand over it, put a little bit of pressure on, not too much, and the blood will coagulate and quickly reform the vein. You're okay. Or it's just bleeding because I was actually just out cycling, doing some shopping, and I ride my bike everywhere. I have a disability with mobility issues with my back because it's bleeding quite a bit, so I'm just going to keep some pressure on that. I think it was just because I was out cycling, so I got the blood pumping, and I think I put the syringe right through a vein and out the other side and into the muscle, so that can happen too. Here, buddy. He's blocking my light. I'm okay. You smell that, don't you? Yes, I'm okay. Alright, so I just wanted to hit on a tweet that I saw recently, quoting, no, it was a video I saw of Blair White, another YouTuber, trans content creator, did a little talk about something ContraPoints had said, and when I heard tweets, I'm not on Twitter so much. I actually don't really know how to use it. I was posting this morning and it kept going on somebody else's, adding a comment to somebody else's comment, which I wasn't trying to do. So you see how little I know about how these things work. I didn't have internet for a long time because systemically I was oppressed and low income and whatnot. So my situation's a little better, knowing that I'm disabled and can't work as much as other people because of my mobility limitations. Anyhow, so I saw this tweet, I heard about the tweet through Blair White's video, and she was saying how that there's an oppression of binary trans people, and binary trans people means somebody who's trans but identifies within the binary. So I am transgender, I am a trans male, a trans guy. I'm also, to use a historic term, transsexual, because I've had an SRS surgery, a surgery to change my physical body to the other gender. People don't use that word anymore, and it's kind of has a negative ring to it because of the time frame that it was used in. But I'm also a guy. I'm a male. I'd prefer people to address me as he or him, unless I consent to them using the person who's addressing me or addressing me to others to use the term they. Because in a sense, using the term they for me can possibly out me as trans, given the situation and the circumstances I'm in, the people that are around. It could be unsafe, but first and foremost, it's unconsensual. I did not consent to you using the term they for me. Unless I specifically say use the term they, and I fluctuate between feeling more male or more non-binary. There have been times where I completely identified as within the term they, and preferred only they them pronouns, and there are times that I only identify as male and prefer he him pronouns. So I feel that if somebody were to address me, whether they knew me or didn't know me, I'm thinking in this case somebody who doesn't know me so much, if somebody came up to me and addressed me as they them, they're overlooking all the effort and the fact that I've done all this work. I've saved money for my transition and went through procedures, and I've taken these hormones that you saw me injecting, and there's sometimes issues around that where I feel nervous or I felt a pinch when I put that in, so I have to go through that every week, and over time you get used to it, and over time it makes these changes. I couldn't grow a beard. I didn't have male pattern baldness before my transition. I had a very thick, full head of hair before my transition, and now I don't. And I had a bit of very soft, prominent facial hair as a dyke, and now I don't. So to negate the fact that I have this beard, I have this male pattern baldness, I have this low voice, I have this muscle structure that I didn't have so much as a dyke, it negates my transition, negates my identity, negates my gender identity. It can make me uncomfortable, it can out me in public without my consent. So it's very important to have somebody's consent before you address them with a term or with a gender identity that they don't feel or are dysphoric about. You can hurt somebody by doing that. You can put them into a unsafe situation, and it's unconsensual. The same as if somebody were to forcefully have sex with somebody else without their consent, that's rape. So we don't really have, come to think of it, a term for unconsensual pronoun addressing people with pronouns that they don't agree with, don't feel, and don't consent to. And that's an issue, and it erases people's binary identities. That said, I don't completely feel I fall within a completely separate and like a hegemonic, patriarchal, cisgender system of binary, historically binary identifications, but I acknowledge a binary, I identify with parts of that binary, and I don't identify with other parts, and it's pretty complicated, so yeah, if you have questions about it, like, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up me, and hit the notifications, get your weekly reminders to remember to do your Tshots. But I'd just like to say that I fully support ContraPoints in her decision not to use they them pronoun and being offended by that, to the point needing to tweet about how that makes her feel as a trans woman. And I've said this early on in my transition to people in groups, trans groups I've been involved with, that, you know, it's not to just address everybody wishy-washy, they, them, to everybody really negates and hurts people's feelings about their gender. So we need to respect everyone, and by doing that, that means not erasing the binaries that are in place, but by adding identities rather than erasing identities. I mean, we don't get rid of racism by not acknowledging race, so how can we get rid of transphobia by not acknowledging a binary? I really think that's what it comes down to. So, yeah, right now I identify as male and prefer he, him pronouns, so, yeah, that's really all I wanted to say about that. Yeah, and yeah, other than that, don't forget to get a box for your tips. Can then put these in here. Let me see if I can open the little safety hole. Oh, it's not there. So there's like a wider side, and I don't know if you can see in the light. Yo, fella. So I put, you know, the actual needle into this little safety hitch here, and then the extra bits can go into the wider side. I'm just trying to show you inside. And then that safely does up, and then you can store it and forget it until next time. Alright, have a great week, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and like and turn notifications on. Leave me a comment if you want to have any more of my opinions on being trans and my experiences about identifying within binaries, or how I perceive myself. I also just put up a couple videos yesterday. One is from 2012, when 3 months post-op my top surgery, and it was either, I can't remember when I started hormones, so it was either, I think it was 2011, might have been 2012, so I was either 3 months into hormones or a year and 3 months into hormones. I'll have to look it up, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been 7 years, so I talk about the changes I was experiencing and my perceptions of gender around age, and how as I transition from female to male, that my perception of age and my appearance of age has shifted. And sometimes I post a picture of me from around the time I first moved in here, and it looks like in that picture that I'm like an 18-year-old boy or 16-year-old boy, but I'm actually 35, so yeah, or 32 or something. It was 2008. And then the video in 2011, I'm 35. So, and there, like, I look like 25 or something. Like even right now, like I look like, you know, despite the hair loss, whatever, I could still be like 32, right? But I'm actually 43 now, so testosterone plays a big part in people's aging process, and in turn, if you oppress somebody and withhold their HRT, it shifts their age group. So, like, people my age, I'm actually not attracted to, for the most part. I've only met a couple of people that, well, I'm not attracted to a lot of people to begin with, so, but I look much younger is my point than my age group, so, and I think it's a cause of being delayed in my hormone therapy, so I don't know, maybe I can speak more to that later, but feel free to watch that previous video. It's interesting to see kind of my shift through time, and I have quite a few of those kind of older videos that I'm going to eventually be posting up, so watch out for that one. Okay, have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye.